Okay guys, so here we find ourselves in my bus, and one of the things that we use my bus for is when we're going into theater, like the night before you've seen in some of our videos, we kind of use this as our mobile command center because we've got the trailers, but if we're not fully deployed, we maybe can't take advantage of all those things, even though Josh has upgraded that and we have some outside Wi-Fi capability and it is in motion. In the past though, we were limited when we came in here. We would have to kind of like cobble stuff together, either using like a MiFi little modem, a wireless cellular thing, or we would have to set up a Starlink, like a dishy or a high performance, and get it out of the trees or whatever. So we didn't really have a great platform. So one of the things that I wanted to do was increase the capability of my bus so that when we were like en route getting there, or as soon as we arrive, we would have a command center where we have communications and have the ability to get online and stay online. So what we've done is we've added a Gen 3 Starlink. It's actually working inside this building. And then we've added a Peplink Max 2 Pro product, and it allows us to have 5G dual modems, and I have ones with AT&T and Verizon. And then my MiFi, I'm changing over to T-Mobile. And then it also lets me do Wi-Fi as WAN. And then it lets me aggregate up to 2 Starlink circuits. So we have all that capability built into the bus now, and so that we have that immediately. If we're en route and we stop, we can pull it to a rest area or on a ramp or wherever, and this bus has the capability and the connectivity in place, and it allows us to do that. So if we're en route or as soon as we get into theater, it gives us a place to have a command center. It gives us a place to have that connectivity. Then we've added the additional capacity that once we're there, we can also utilize this to distribute the internet for creature comfort, and for the guys that sleep in the big trucks, we're also going to use this platform to extend the internet out to those guys. We're making kind of a command bus and have the profile where we can do that. We already have the radios in here. Now we have the internet in here. And then we also have made provisions that we can then connect it in to the main sleeping trailer where Josh and them have built out the same similar system with Starlink and Peplink, and we can have all the connectivity. Now we can tie these two platforms together, aggregate it, and get a really nice internet product for camp, for the guys, for creature comfort, for operational needs, whatever we need to do while we're moving into theater. And now we have something that is on while we're rolling. All right, guys, so what we did is right here, we started looking for places that we could do it. I kind of like that. This is in my bus. This used to be screwed in, and so I just used some magnets to make it where I could like click in this guy and click him right out. We went with the Ubiquiti gear, so we have a Ubiquiti switch. We have a nice one of their APs, and then this is a switch port that allows us to get the connectivity to outside the bus, and we'll show you that. And then it routes across, and we're trying to utilize all the space that we can. And in here, you'll see that we've added in, we have our Peplink device up here on the top, and then in the back of the pantry, we have our Starlink power supply, and that's where the interface comes out of it, and all this stuff routes together. So we have our 2 aggregation ports on our Peplink device, and then there's 14 antennas that comes off the back of this guy, and all 14 of those cables route up into the ceiling and go to a big antenna on top. Peplink antenna is like 2 feet across, and then we've got cables that go outside the coach, and we'll show you that. It's also a great way that we are able to get these videos out to you guys while we're in theater and while we're rolling down the road. So one of the things that we do when we get in the camp is the guys that drive the semi trucks, they end up sleeping in their trucks. So one of the things that we have to provide for them, because remember it's a hurricane, all the infrastructure's down, so the cellular and all the ways they would normally get internet to check in with their wives and their families and kind of have that creature comfort, and all that stuff is gone. And so this gives us a way that we can provide that internet connectivity. Once my bus parks, we can send internet out to those big trucks, and those guys can get that connectivity they need to utilize while they're in camp. So what I did is, this being an older bus, it used to have a phone line, it used to have a coax connection, it used to have a way that you could maybe even get you could go to an RV park and they would have cable feed. So I took that out and added in 2 ports for the APs, and we have these out here testing them. We have a Starlink on the roof, like the box inside. It can take multiple Starlink dishes. So I have a way that I can feed in a Starlink, and I have a way that I can send out connectivity to Josh and the other trailers in camp if we wanted to like aggregate the bus Starlinks with the camp Starlinks. And then he has different boxes that we'll talk about in some more videos where we can aggregate all these networks together. But this gives us the place to do it. We can close all this up and we can take this port out, run the cables through. And then one more thing that I have to do is I'm gonna add in an electrical outlet so that if I set up another Starlink, I could put the router here, plug it in, it'd be weatherproof, even though those things are weatherproof, and we could have a way to connect them. So this is how we get the trucks in. We have additional connectivity out to the camp or to the additional Starlinks. It all happens right here. So once we've aggregated all those sources of internet inside the bus, this is kind of the port or the interface to the outside world that we can broadcast this out to the guys in camp. So you guys, you can see I have it kind of up here, and I'm gonna pivot it around. The shop is built like a roof like this, and the bus is parked over to the right hand side of it. So in the screen shot, you can see the big red lines and the vertical lines, those are actually the rafters. And then when you get farther away, where the rafters are much farther away, the Starlink signal's working around it. So we're getting, in this obstruction plot, you can see the bus is actually now seeing through it. And I've had Starlink set up in here in the past where it wouldn't get out. And now I don't know what they've done, if the new technology is faster or better or quicker. I haven't even had to take the bus outside to do the install and do the testing, because I've been able to just utilize it right here inside the building. So that's been a really nice, pleasant surprise. And even the dishes, the little first Gen 2 satellites that we had, the ones that move, the performance of them has went from like 40, 50 down to like 120, 130, 140 down. So I think his network is just becoming more robust, and we're seeing the benefits of that. So, that's pretty cool. So Starlink has been a game changer for us, where in the past I had 3 in-motion satellites tracking terrestrial-based TV satellites so that we could get national news and those kind of things, because you remember during a hurricane, all the communications, all the power, all the stuff is gone. So we were cut off. And so we utilized some of the technology that we had, older technology, but now with Starlink, it's a game changer for keeping our situational awareness up, creature comforts. It's a real big deal. I am not a network professional, and I'm certainly not a Peplink Max BR2 Pro. There's a ton of videos out on the internet to look at this, but it is pretty straightforward. As you can see here, this is the top. You see how it has priority 1, priority 2, priority 3, priority 4, and so forth. So I have priority 1 is my public Wi-Fi, and I can pick the only SSIDs that I want it to go to, or I can tell it to go look for other ones. So in my case, I only want this to work when the bus is in station, like at my shop where it's parked, or if we were like staging at the warehouse up in Somerville, I would chose an SSID name that's unique to both places. So you'll next see priority 2 is cellular 1 and 2. Now cellular 1 and 2 is AT&T and Verizon. I have a MiFi that's currently Verizon, and I'm changing it over to T-Mobile. So that'll give us 3 carriers, even though everybody can text in and tell me that T-Mobile is a combination of them, but whatever. So then it'll prioritize 5G on Verizon and 5G on AT&T, and it'll even aggregate those 2 guys together. And then the next thing, of course, is the WAN 1, which is in standby right now. But this is our Starlink Gen 3 in motion. And I would like to say one thing about that. The first couple of Starlinks are kind of plasticky, and I know they're expensive, and I know that Elon and the guys subsidized them. But now this new one is like aluminum. It's not billet, but it's really nicely made. It feels heavy and solid. It's a big increase over the quality that we've seen in the previous Starlink stuff. It all worked great, but this is a really nice device that we have mounted permanently on top. Of course, there's no cable connected. That would be the second Starlink that we would plug up in under the bottom. There's another, I guess, cold standby is that VLAN WAN 1. I think that may be the USB input that I've hooked up to the MiFi, and it's seen it before. So anyway, this box is really incredible because it gives us the ability to aggregate, but it puts it all together and it gives us one nice internet product. And this in and out of station, it all just happens automatically. We also have ATAC that we utilize in motion with the maps and Steven doing the navigation, and that gives us that situational awareness. And I've upgraded the dash of my bus to allow us to be able to see that and do that in real time as we're going into theater. So this is a really nice communication upgrade that gives us access to a lot more data in motion immediately upon arrival because it's set up and already running. Hey guys, I appreciate you watching that video. I thought Steven did a really good job with that one. I'm learning some new terms. There's a term called B-roll. That's where he inserts all those little video clips along while I'm talking, so you don't have to look at me, and it makes the video a lot more interesting. So that was pretty good. Working on some other satellite aggregation equipment stuff, checking out the storms that are coming in and brewing out there. I appreciate you guys watching this video. With the hurricane season maybe heating up a little bit, there may be some opportunities for us to get out there and chase a couple of hurricanes. Again, we appreciate you watching our videos. Like and subscribe. If we left out any details or anything we should have put in there, drop them down in the comments below. Share this video with somebody you like. And always, we appreciate you watching. Thanks.